It was won by Washington, time of 6:39.3, followed by UCLA, Stanford third, St. Joseph's fourth, Purdue fifth, San Diego State sixth, and Loyola seventh. Here are the results of event number 18. This is men's JV, Heat A. This is won by the Cal Bears, time of 5:58.73, followed by Stanford. Those two to advance. Third place, Oregon State, followed by UC San Diego, UCLA, UC Davis B, and a USC boat. For event number 19, this is the second of the JV heats. Washington won that in a time of 5:54.7. That's about 4 seconds exactly faster than the previous heat. Followed by Harvard.
Back 1 inch.
Quick look at our lane assignments for the women's collegiate novice. This is the third of 3. Sac State in lane 1, Washington out of lane 2, San Diego State University out of lane 3. There's UCLA out in 4, St. Joe's in 5, and Clemson in 6. They look pretty aligned. We'll have a start here shortly. Top 2 crews will move forward to the grand finale of this particular event.
Hand in the air signifies they're making some adjustments to get the alignment of the boats correct. And hopefully the officials will note that before they start their official starting commands. San Diego State University boat in this race currently has 4 seniors in the boat. They placed 9th in last year's Jessup Whittier Cup. They last won the Cal Cup in 2005.
So far in this category, we have Orange Coast College and USC, along with Washington State and Davis. They'll be competing tomorrow morning at 11:10. They're off.
And this race should be a keenly contested race because on form there doesn't seem to be a lot separating any of the 6 crews. They've all come off the line, level pegging. If there's anyone that has a slight advantage, it's the University of Washington in lane 2. But not by much. As we come down to about 200 meters gone, it's San Diego State who appear to have a slight lead over UCLA and Washington. Sac State in lane 1 have got off to a slightly slower start, and they are nearly a boat length down by the time we get to the 250 meter mark. But the rest of the crews in the race are going at it stroke for stroke. There's not a lot between them. San Diego State have a slight lead over UCLA from Washington, but over on the far side, St. Joseph's and Clemson are right in it too. It's difficult to see who has the precise position at any one stage at this point. It's San Diego State who seem to have settled into a good rhythm, and they're maintaining a lead, but they're not moving away from the other crews. UCLA are moving on them. And on the outside, St. Joseph's and Clemson are very much in touch. As we go up to the 500 meter mark, it's almost level across the course. Clemson, St. Joseph's, UCLA, San Diego State, with Washington about a quarter of a length back on them, and then about a length and a half back to Sac State.
At 500 meters, checking our lane assignments once again, we have Sacramento State coming out of lane 1. They're currently trailing Washington in lane 2, San Diego State in lane 3, UCLA in lane 4, St. Joseph's coming out of lane 5, and Clemson coming out of lane 6. And as you noted at our 500 meter call, apparently a very competitive race in the early going, with the only crew that is down just a taste, Sacramento State. appears that San Diego State may have a slight edge as they move through approaching the 1,000-meter mark of this race. San Diego State, and then to the outside, maybe looking at St. Joseph's in the hunt just a little bit. And farther to the outside, Clemson. Actually, the 4 crews, Washington, San Diego State, UCLA, St. Joseph's, actually 5 crews in Clemson, all in the immediate vicinity of one another. The only crew trailing at the current juncture, Sacramento State. Very competitive so far.
Good shot there of our 2 leaders, Washington and San Diego State, throwing stroke for stroke. Washington Coxon urging her troops on. The pre-race favorite would be definitely the University of Washington crew. Washington's always got a solid program in both men's and women's.
San Diego State. And on the far outside, Clemson looking inside to Washington and outside to St. Joseph's. And UCLA also on the hunt. Very competitive race at the moment.
Shot there of the St. Joseph's crew.
Certainly San Diego State, and on the outside Clemson not going away. UCLA. And Washington. San Diego State and Washington in lanes 2 and 3. San Diego State 3, Washington at 2. All the way to the outside to Clemson.
San Diego State doing a good job of hanging with the big dogs from the University of Washington at the 500-meter mark. The Clemson folks on the outside think they might have a shot at it. Just that belief will keep them in the race as we go to the last 500 meters here.
We've got 2 crews going forward, and right now it is certainly a question mark as to who has command of this particular situation. Washington on the near side, San Diego State just outside, then farther out it is Clemson. Come back inside, St. Joseph's looks like they're falling back just a little bit, and then UCLA.
Washington's got a half a length over San Diego State. It's just not clear where San Diego State and Clemson are as we get down to the last 250.
This is Washington along the shoreline. The race to watch at the moment. San Diego State and Clemson. And St. Joseph's is needing to move up there to get to challenge that apparently is not happening. They're following back a little bit. It's Washington, so now we're looking at who's going to qualify in that second spot. It's going to be San Diego State and Clemson going stroke for stroke. San Diego State currently has the advantage slightly. This is Washington. Washington by about 6 or 7 seats. San Diego State by almost a boat length now. And Clemson on the outside with St. Joseph's rowing strongly on their heels, followed by UCLA, and then comes Sacramento State. Well, pending official announcement, it looks like Washington and San Diego State will be joining Washington State Davis, USC, and Orange Coast College in the finale that will be held for this particular event tomorrow morning at 11:10.
Here are the official results from the Women's Collegiate Novice Heat A. Orange Coast College won that in a time of 7:20.3, followed by USC. Stanford was third, UC Irvine fourth, UC San Diego fifth, Arizona State was sixth.